This food was traded like gold by the Aztecs. The most valuable food on the planet is being destroyed by the chocolate industry. There is so much history surrounding these unique and historically worshipped chocolate beans. In fact, the Aztecs of South America referred to them as heart blood in recognition of the positive effect they had on the entire circulatory system. In fact, the cacao beans were so treasured, so valuable, they were traded as currency instead of gold. Back in the 16th century, Hernan Cortés, who conquered the Aztecs, was quoted, "This divine drink builds up resistance and fights fatigue. A cup of this precious drink permits a man to walk for a whole day without food." Imagine taking something so pure, so healthy, heating it up, destroying all of the nutrients, adding obscene amounts of sugar in toxic levels, and then adding highly processed, overheated dairy produce, and then selling it as a treat? Well, that happens every day in the hundreds of different types of chocolate bars, taking up a whole aisle in the supermarket. The thing is, the cacao bean, which is the actual raw chocolate bean, is one of the most precious forms of nutrients on earth that you can include in your smoothie, your green juice, or add it into your coffee, which tastes really, really good. Nicknamed the food of the gods by the 18th century scientist Carl Linnaeus, it's just too good, too full of nutrients to not include it in your diet every day in its most purest form. Now, cacao bean powder is from the Amazon. It's organic, so there's no chemicals, there's no additives. All cacao beans have to go through a fermentation process to make them edible. And these beans in particular are put through a low fermentation process, which maintains the integrity of the nutrients. Cacao, it contains the highest concentration of antioxidants of any food in the world. And antioxidants, well, we need them to protect our cells from damage, to prevent age-related diseases, and keep our entire immune system really, really strong. Antioxidants are abundant in cacao bean powder, and they will go to work on your physical strength, your endurance, your ability to remain focused and completely productive throughout the day. Your skin will benefit way more than any of the expensive face creams or body moisturizers. I used to buy really expensive face creams and serums and all of that stuff. And now I just use CeraVe on my face and on my body, because whatever's happening to our skin, it's not coming from outside. It's coming from our diet, our lifestyle, the quality of nutrients we feed our body with. Cacao is also documented to improve our cognitive function and lower the risk of memory loss. Taken long-term, studies show that the risk of cardiovascular disease drops dramatically. Now, it contains a huge amount of magnesium. It's also very high in iron, which is the crucial mineral for the transport of oxygen in the blood. It contains chromium to balance our blood sugar, and zinc and copper, which are also essential minerals. And if you consume cacao bean powder without putting it through a cooking high heat process, it contains the essential omega-6 fatty acids in their most purest forms. The other very interesting ingredients are anandamide, PEA, the essential amino acid tryptophan, and the feel-good neurotransmitter serotonin. Together, these four key ingredients have a very noticeable effect on your mood, your level of stress, and an increase in the ability to focus. And last but not least is the ingredient Theobromine, which has a profound effect on the entire circulatory system. It gives you a super stimulant effect, and as a result, it really does increase your energy level. Now, this is something you do need to be aware of, so I would start off with just 1 teaspoon of cacao bean powder, and then work up to 3-4 teaspoons a day. And if you commit to including the cacao bean powder long term, these 5 ingredients will be a natural antidepressant. So if pure chocolate, the cacao bean, is so nutritious and has heaps of positive effects on our mind and on our body, then why is it being completely obliterated with toxic levels of sugar and dairy and being heavily processed? Unfortunately, humans and a lot of other mammals are drawn to foods high in fat, high in sugar. We crave foods and drinks. We know they aren't healthy, and once we're hooked, it's really tough to not crave this junk food. So it's a matter of retraining our taste buds again and introducing a superfood like cacao every day, and knowing that it will take a while to get used to. But if you value your health, your body, your mental, your physical performance, then I reckon it's worth it. Now, the cacao bean I use is in its powdered form from a company called Forest Superfoods. It's organic. Importantly, it's dried at a very low temperature, so the nutrients are all still intact. And after doing a lot of research on cacao bean powder, I honestly thought it wasn't possible to find a powder that wasn't super high in heavy metals. So I emailed Forest Superfoods and they sent me their results. This brand has been third-party tested. It's extremely low in heavy metals. And this may be something new to you, but pretty much all chocolate products on the market, including the organic brands, contain the heavy metals lead, cadmium, arsenic, and mercury. And if that sounds completely crazy, check it out for yourself. The reason for these heavy metals is that the soil around the world now has become so polluted with heavy metals that it's really, really tough for farmers to grow produce without toxins being drawn up through the plants from their roots. And as far as I know, there is still no standards for the allowable maximum amount of lead and cadmium found in chocolate. My favourite dark chocolate is Lindt. And after doing the research for this video, I am mortified because I found out that it contains really high amounts of heavy metals. Dear, I got these ones for Christmas. Now I'm going to have to limit the amount of these guys I have because I really don't want to fill my body up with heavy metals, cadmium and lead. On a lighter note, if you're on board and ready to introduce real healthy chocolate into your diet, then you can put a heaped teaspoon of pure cacao powder into your smoothie or your juice. But if you're more inventive than me, I am sure there are a heap of recipes out there where you can replace highly processed cocoa powder with pure cacao bean powder. And just remember, if you do put this powder under extreme heat, as in baking, you'll lose a heap of the nutrients. But add it into your coffee, that's usually no more than around 70 degrees, it's perfect. A heaped teaspoon of cacao powder contains more iron, more potassium, more magnesium and phosphorus than most other foods out there. I've put the link to this organic bean powder into the description below. This 250 gram bag that I have delivered every month, it costs around 30 Australian dollars. And I add it to my almond latte in the morning, and I add it to my green smoothie in the afternoon. So guys, please reach out. Let me know your experience with cacao, or if you'd like to share a recipe, that would be amazing. In the next video, we're looking at another superfood, the goji berry. So subscribe to get the notification, and I will see you soon.